Good morning, Gun Highs. Nice to see you. Apologize if my voice sounds a little nasally. My nose is stuffy. Hey, what's up, Melty? I'm thinking about starting this new project, but it seems kind of insane. It would be for the rhythm game community. Huh, never heard of that. Where there's probably 250,000 community-made charts, all with incorrect names, artist albums wrong, album art, just a ton of metadata issues. Huh. I've never heard of that particular type of game. Rhythm game community. That's a new one for me. But sounds interesting. Oh, Guitar Hero. Okay. I've heard of Guitar Hero. Yep, Guitar Hero Rock Band. Okay, interesting. Hello, newbie clips. How do you plan your stream, man? Like you have everything in mind to explore one by one, or people suggest? No, I just have a rough idea of something I want to do, and I just turn on the computer or turn on the camera and let her rip. Yeah, I don't put too much thought into it. It's usually something that I want to explore or learn or try to implement, or you know what I mean, something like that. Like today I'm gonna try to implement some. I'm basically gonna try to build a reusable package in C# for handling resolving identities on atproto. It's like something you. Nice hairstyle. Oh, thanks. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's the one I've had for the last couple years. Steven smells coffee. Coffee give him ideas. Well, Steven needs coffee. I do not have any coffee right now, so we need to fix that. Good morning, Mark. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. There's a bunch of different games, all for 5-fret guitars. I'm thinking a library manager plus metadata normalization. Nice, dude. Well, if you're excited about it, I say go for it. And if you stop being excited about it, you can just you can stop, you know. Steven coffee codes. Yes, that's basically the only thing I ever have planned is I know we're going to drink coffee and I know we're going to do something related to coding. But other than that, that's about it. That's about it. All right, I'm gonna start the water. I'm kind of new to the Linux. Which one to install so I can play light games too? I don't use Linux on a daily basis, so I would defer to other people in chat. But I hear you can do gaming on Linux now. I hear that is a thing. I've seen some videos about SteamOS, which SteamOS looks pretty cool. Maybe that's an option for you. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Linux distros. And like, I mean, I know what Linux distros are. I just don't know like which is better for what. Ugh. All right. Let's see if we can't figure out how to write some code. All right, so I know first and foremost, the entry point to this is going to be something like resolver. And I know it's going to want to have a interface. That's well, that's not working. Resolver, yeah. Huh. Wonder why it's not picking that up. That's weird. I'm surprised I have to restart my language server for that to Yeah, we're gonna. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of that. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's rename this Resolver S. Okay. I think the water's done. Forgive me for blowing my nose. My nose is just so stuffy. I don't know if it's allergies or what. All right. Well, where were we? Okay, so what this package is designed to do is to take a handle or an ID on the atproto network and resolve it to either or. And specifically, I want it to resolve to a DID document. So let's just write like the happy path, some wishful programming. So we'll do public task, and we'll have a method called resolve handle. Let's start with the ID. So we'll have resolve DID. When called, it should return DID document. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm up while you're live. Yeah, I know, right? It's early. I appreciate you being here. Should return DID document. So then we're gonna have something like var results private read-only resolver equals system under test equals new. So this will be something like resolve. It should probably resolve async. And this will take, I think I want this to be strongly typed. So let's say like var DID. That should be resolve DID. So this would be something like some random numbers here. Just gonna use my personal one. And for now, we can just do something like result.should.not. Should not be. Don't know why I'm not getting. Don't feel like I'm getting IntelliSense in here. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and stub that out. And for now, let's just do something like this. Remove if it's not part. Remember does not have it. No, that's bullshit. Because this is gonna be public. Don't need that actually. Task DID document. Solve a string DID. See, it's like, for whatever reason, it's like OmniSharp's not detecting... Oh, now it is. There we go. Should not be null. Reader does not exist anymore. Yeah, I know it doesn't exist anymore. I wonder why it's why is it? Oh, because there's a bunch of old ones. Let's go ahead and clean that before we... Where's my script here? Let's do RM. Test results. Well, I don't want to have to do that before every... There we go. Why is it still telling me that? I want to silence that warning. CA... What was that warning? CA 1822. Hey, what's up, Minister of Defense? How are you? What's happening? Nothing much. Just drinking some coffee, writing some code. Having ourselves a nice morning, you know? Enjoying life. Hey, what's up, ES Funil? It's been a while since I've seen you, man. Lurk away. Lurk all you want. Connecticut, nice. Getting out of the big city, taking the weekend. Ooh, meeting a girl. Let's go. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Yeah, some of those pictures you shared of your view from wherever you live in the city is very pretty, but I'm guessing Connecticut's nice this time of year, huh? Fall weather slowly creeping in. It's awesome, man. I hope you enjoy yourself. Yeah, fall is the best, dude. Cozy. It's cozy season. All right, so this actually should be resolved DID. Maybe I only need one method. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. Can't make up my mind. We'll implement it like this and we'll see how it feels. I do know that I kind of do want it to be a strongly typed object though. So instead of passing string, I think I do want something like DID. And I think I want something like this. Yes, it does. See, there's something, I've got some bug or something right now in my... Remove unused parameter DID if it is not part of a ship public. Yeah, it is. Huh. It's like I almost have to make an edit or something. I don't know if that's normal. Okay, so then the whole point of that is now you can't just pass in a string over here. You have to do something like this. Do I like that? I don't know. Do I? I don't know if I like that. What about this? Would this look nice? Now I kind of hate that. Okay, we're going back. We're going back. A bad idea. Let's just try to implement the logic, and then we can shape the API once we figure out what we want it to be. Okay. So the first thing I think I want to do is I want to figure out if it's a valid identifier. That's probably the first thing. And let's actually call this resolve or throw async. That rename everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so let's say when called with invalid DID, it should throw invalid argument exception. Oh, you know what this should also take? This should also take a cancellation token. Like all. Yeah. We'll just do, I think we have test context dot current dot cancellation token. And let's turn this into a theory. And we'll just do inline data. And we can use string, the ID should throw isn't there a should throw? Result dot should dot Am I out of my mind? I could have sworn there was a should throw async or something like that. Maybe I made this up. Is it just me, but since I stopped doing food delivery so much, I'm saving so much money? I don't think it's just you, man. Food delivery is expensive shit, dude. It's super, super expensive shit. It's almost like I make a decent salary. Yeah, it's super expensive. I mean, as a guy with a family of 4, we really never do food delivery. It drives the cost of eating out up just way too much. Because we've got to do this.
Did we just become best friends?
Hey, David Holland. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate that. No, we don't want to use that. So we need to suppress that. CA 2007. What the fuck? I thought I just suppressed that. There we go. I don't know what that was about. Okay, so if they give me this, that should not work. If they give me localhost, that should not work. If they give me something like DID web, if they give me something like DID DLC, if they give me I guess test null. What else? Guess they could give me something like this. They could give me something like something that looks like a valid ID but has a strange method. We could do something like this. Made up. So all these shouldn't work. Localhost? Hold on. What? Oh, you're right. Well, yeah, basically anything that's not something that doesn't have a top level domain should throw. Which I don't know if I actually like that, because basically we need to be able to resolve a domain or a handle to a DID document, or we should be able to resolve a DID ID to a DID document. We got to be able to go both ways. And I don't know if we want separate methods for that, or we're just gonna. I think right now I'm just gonna try to do it in a single method, but we might split that out as I go. I think I'm gonna try to focus on the implementation, and then I'll work through kind of the API surface once I get the logic implemented. Yeah, single. I think singles sounds nice for usage. I agree, and I'm really only optimizing for my own individual usage at this point, so I think that'll be just fine. What was that error that I got? System.runtime.compiler-services.external init is not defined. Oh, this is because I'm targeting .NET Standard. And we don't have a record. That's fine. We don't need to. We can just do public. We can stick to classes. That's fine. Public class. We don't need this anymore either. Cool. So now they all fail. And now let's implement that logic. Okay, so what's the first test case? Whoops. I'm actually going to open that up in a split. There we go. Alright, so I guess first thing first, we just check to see if string dot is null or empty. We know right away. Okay. Should have 2 passing now. Yep. Good deal. Okay. And then we should probably check to see if it's a actual domain. Yeah, how do I want to do that? Let's actually change this just a little. No, that's fine. So let's do if is domain. Else okay, what's the best way to do this in C#? I want to say there's a like a yeah, there we go. So we got, let's put this in private bool is domain. Okay, so we'll do URI check host name ID. Okay, so we'll do if host type does not equal then we want to make sure it's at least a top level, so we'll say what do we want to say? DID dot contains at least one period. Okay, there may be a way to dry that up a little bit. I think we can actually just do host type equals URI.DNS and all right, so if it is a domain, we're good. Yeah, oh, we should also check for this. We don't want this. We don't want this. We don't want @ signs. Hey, Arvin, how are you, man? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so if did.starts with throw new argument exception did cannot start with yeah. So if we get through here, if it's not empty or null, and it doesn't start with this, and the domain, and it is a domain, right? At that point, it's fair game. We'll handle it. We probably want to know that it's not, so let's do this. Var is domain. because that's probably going to change some of the logic in here. Okay. So if it's not a domain, though, then we need some additional checks. Then we are assuming we're dealing with one of these, right? So if it's not a domain, then we're going to do if EID starts with or EID starts with Hey, what's up, Zolo? Nice to see you. Steven locked in for real. I'm not crazy locked in, but I'm trying to get there. The brain is not caffeinated yet. How am I doing this morning? Yes, we are back to C#. We're working on building a little. I'm trying to learn about how, or I've been doing a lot of learning about how identity resolution works in atproto. So now I'm trying to encode my understanding into a reusable package for myself. Partly for utility, and then partially just to commit my understanding to memory in some way. All right, so what do I want to check here? I basically want to make sure that the DID string starts with these prefixes, and that when you strip those prefixes, there's still an actual value left over. How to say this? No, it can't be. must contain either that. Hey, what's up, Danny? Ain't no way Steven would look at the chat with that focus. I'm definitely looking. I'm definitely looking. I try not to ignore chat, you know? I figure if I'm gonna stream, I might as well pay attention. Otherwise, it's just no reason to stream, right? If you're not gonna interact with chat. Okay, if has proper previous. Okay, and then we should say var did is not so we can do did dot trim so these are always the same length. They're 8. So I think I could do 8 remaining. You saw GTA 6 last night? I did not. Did they release it? Oh. Why is this not? Oh. Nice, okay. I did not see. I'll have to check it out. Alright, let's see if all my tests pass now. Yeah, cool. So quick refactor real quick. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this magic number here. And honestly, this should probably be private, read only, string array, valid prefixes. There's any Yeah, any. So if any of these is true, so prefix. And then we should be able to update this to say must be DID with one of these methods. Okay, now the I kind of want to what do I want to do? I just want to clean up this logic so it's not so messy. Still passes, okay. I think I'm gonna add another private method. And I think what this is gonna do is we're gonna have string try parse without prefix. This will take string DID, it will return out string DID without prefix. And so what we'll do is we'll say return false, and we will loop over for each bar prefix invalid prefixes, which means this can't be static. And we will do PID without prefix starts as an empty string. And if PID starts with the prefix that we were given, right? Then we will return true. And we want to trim that off, so we'll say DID without prefix equals DID prefix dot length, need a remainder that. So then we should be able to see if is domain is false, then what? Then we can say if try parse without prefix out var eid without prefix. Hey D, what's up, man? How are you? Man, I built that stream place chat thing and we haven't had anybody over there. It's a little early for those folks, I guess. Yeah, stream place is kind of like a it's like the Twitch version, or it's the atproto version of Twitch, basically. Yeah, it's like a alternative place to stream. It's kind of interesting. All right, so what am I trying to express here, and is this any better than what I had? So if we are able to parse it, this is, I think this is better. So then we can say if this is false, then we weren't able to parse it, and if we weren't able to parse it, then this is not a valid but if we were able to parse it, then we just need to check to make sure we actually got a non-empty result. Yeah, I like that. That's a better, I think. And then we need to know if it's a domain, because that's going to switch. That's going to change how we do the resolution. Nice. This also probably doesn't belong in this method, to be completely honest. Validation should probably be a separate responsibility. I see C# upvote. Well, thank you for upvoting the stream. You're having breakfast right now? Breakfast sounds good. Oh, I guess you might want my stream place, huh? I think my stream place is stream.place. What is it? Oh, you found it? Nice. This is it for everybody else. It's ad-free, so if you don't like ads, you can go over there and watch ad-free if you want. No ads, no money though. Yeah, but I mean, I think I've made $10 so far from Twitch. So. And I think I make like 60 cents a stream from YouTube. I think we looked at it yesterday when I was streaming, or the day before. So it's not much money out of my pocket anyway, so it's not, no biggie. All right, so this is where we actually get into the interesting bits, is when we have to actually do the resolution. So, the general logic for this in atproto is if you That's weird. I thought I heard something. Upstairs. Okay, so the general logic is you need to retrieve the DID document based on the ID. So if you have a handle based on what you got. So if you have a handle, or I guess a domain, you're going to do something, you're going to do one thing. And if you have a DID, you do another. Okay, so the domain part is basically this. You're going to... What are you going to do? If you have a domain... I guess you're gonna have to... Huh, yeah. Okay, so if you have a domain, you are going to try to retrieve the DID either through using well-known DID JSON or looking for @proto.domain text record. If you have a DID, check method. If method is web, retrieve DID, retrieve doc from yeah. What you're basically having to do is you have to resolve this to what your identity is, or what your DID is. If you have domain, you're going to retrieve the DID through here or through here. Okay, then you now for sure have a DID. Check method. If method is web, then retrieve the doc from there. If method is PLC, then you retrieve doc from PLC directory, like that. Okay. And then once you have the document, you now have the document. So then you're going to extract the also known as, which is the handle. Then you're going to make sure you can get back the same DID from the handles domain at well-known did.json or atproto.domain.txt. Okay, so yeah, so this is the general flow. This is going to make sense to anybody that hasn't been learning about this stuff, but basically the way atproto identity resolution works is you should be able to take the handle or the identifier and you should be able to resolve either to or and verify them based on the location of pieces of information at particular places that are specified by the protocol. Yeah, so that's what we're going to try to do. Oh shit, my coffee cam's been on this whole time? I'm sorry. Forgot to turn it off. Thank you, D. Okay. So, if is domain we're basically going to do something like this. Okay, this is going to get a little painful to test. I can already see the pain here. Yeah, I can already see this pain. Let's go ahead and do the refactor now. So let's do EID validator. Validity. I don't know how to spell this. Ensure validity. I think that's how you spell that. This is gonna have to be public. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it should be public or not, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm overthinking it right now. Were you a Spanish guy in school? I did take Spanish in school, but I don't remember any of it, which is probably kind of a disappointment to my mom, because my mom is half Hispanic. My grandma was from Honduras. My mom and my sister both speak Spanish fluently, but me and my brother did not learn it. Could have sworn I got rid of that, but maybe I didn't. Okay, so the whole idea here is so that we can extract this logic. Oh my god, I flipped the... I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm having second thoughts about this. Because what I'm actually thinking of doing is okay, so what am I thinking here? So here's my thought process. In the resolver, I want to validate that the DID that they gave me is the shape that I expect. But I also need to know some information about the particular DID. For example, like I need to know the domain. I need to know whether it's a domain, whether it represents a domain or an actual... Basically, is it this or is it this? Because that changes the resolution logic that I use, which makes me think what we should actually do is we should construct an object that has those properties, and in the construction phase do all this validation. That feels better, I think. So let's add DID. Let's remove this. Public class. So this will be public pool is domain. Yeah. I think this is better. And let's actually do this. Make this private. Public static. Okay, so the question is this better? I don't know. That's a question. Is it better? I don't know. I guess the other thing that might be helpful to know is the method. Public string method. Now, if we're talking coding, you got a perfect one, so put his... You're singing in the chat now, Fanberg? Nice. I'm actually going to change this to is handle. Then I guess we can also set the method. We could do this. We could do out string No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Just make it a string. Keep it simple. How do I check to see if it contains a... I don't know if I'm happy with that, but okay, so this test then needs to move. And the resolver, we need to get rid of this. We'll leave the pseudocode in there. And let's see, let's do this becomes a strongly typed object. It will be. Which means now we need to did test.cs. And we basically need to copy that. Then we'll say these can all go away. Nope, it needs to be public. Okay, let's do. Just so this will compile.
Kelsey says it's so quiet.
Hey, what's up, honey? Yeah, it is so quiet. My streams have, for the most part, kind of died off in terms of viewership over the last couple months. I'm actually probably wrapping up here in a little bit. Let's try to build. It didn't work? It did, yeah, I heard it. Or at least I heard the text-to-speech. On my side.
Kelsey says hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it. Maybe you guys can't hear the text. Can you not hear the text-to-speech, honey? Maybe I have something messed up. Oh, you weren't live? That's funny. I did hear it though, yeah. I did hear it. What is this complaining about? Oh, yep. That makes sense.
Dina 986 is telling you to lift some weights.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, did Twitch die? I think Twitch died. Huh, no? That's weird. I'm not sure why I didn't see that message in my... Yeah, I guess it is working. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't show up in my... Now that I think about it, I don't know if I've implemented the rewards in my term chat app. I need to go back and I need to do some work on it. Okay. Alrighty.
Dina 956 is reminding you to hydrate.
Thank you, D. D's watching out for me. You know, I think the painful... CD, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you. I think the painful thing that I'm doing right now with this implementation is I have two things that I'm trying to handle, but I'm trying to represent them in one. So we should do something about that, right? Because if it is a handle, it's not going to have a method, right? So what's the proper nomenclature for this? Okay. All right. So we're gonna change some stuff. So we're gonna have right. Okay. Let me go again. Let me go back to my thinking here. Go back to my thinking. All right. So we have a resolve method. Resolve. This thing we're trying to make it easy on our consumer, on our caller. So a caller just needs to worry about giving us an ID. Right, an identifier. Which goes into our resolve method. But our resolve method needs to know is the identifier a handle or a DID? Right? That's the question that we've been trying to answer all morning and basically validate against. So inside the resolve method, we need to take that identifier and we need to split it. Or we don't need to split it, but we need to parse it so that we can discriminate between whether or not it's a I've never seen a Scaladraw do that. We need to discriminate if it's a... Why are you... Excalibur's just slowly moving left on me. I don't know, I've never seen that before. So we have to basically discriminate if it's a handle, a DID, or a handle. Because if it is a handle, we're gonna do something different to get back to the DID. Extra step. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is in my code to line up with that, I'm gonna make a new class. We're gonna have public class DID, public class handle. And then I'm gonna change this class to be atproto ID. Which is an abstract class. It doesn't ever actually exist. It's always either one or the other. Which also kind of makes sense because the validation logic is actually like the split here in this method, the split here is because you validate a handle one way, you validate a DID another. I love me some dino coding. That's funny. Well, you know, I do what I can, you know, do what I can. Okay, you still do need this split though. And you still did need this method. But these properties can get extracted, so let's extract these properties. So the only thing that DID has that handle doesn't is the method. We don't need this Boolean anymore to discriminate. So we can just leave the value here. This guy can move here because he's the only one that cares about prefixes. We still want to check if it's null or empty. That's a piece of handle validation, so let's do so let's move that here. Honestly, this doesn't need to be private, but I personally kind of like having a from method like this. I think it's kind of nice. Oh, make it private. Fuck it. It's just my package. Who cares what other people think? There we go. We have handle. Okay. And then this logic. So this still has to live up here because this is how we discriminate between what we're dealing with. That can live here. This right here can all go here. We can also set the method. Okay, so that means basically all this gets dried up quite a bit, and then we can just do this. We can say if domain, let's rename this to atproto, maybe. So if you gave us a domain, we're going to try to create a handle. Otherwise, we're going to try to create a DID from what you gave us. No, it cannot be simplified because we're... And we need to move this down to the... Okay. What are you complaining about? Yeah, I think this makes more sense. I don't think method should probably be a strongly typed object. Yeah, it should probably be a strongly typed object. All right, I think that's a good place to stop. I know I didn't really get a ton done from the resolution logic, but I feel like I'm in a good place. Okay, which means now we can rename this to atproto ID. Rename this to atproto D. Okay. I'm gonna just fix that error in my script. I don't know where this is coming from. .NET clean. Use the new keyword if hiding was intended. Yeah, it's intended. Well, hold on, before I stop. Is that intended? Yeah, because basically, if you're a caller and you say, I know better than you, and I just want to create a DID, and I know that I have a DID string, you should be able to pass it in and not have to go through. I'm actually, yeah, we're gonna, that's fine. I don't know what this predefined type keeps coming up. Not sure why. I mean, I know what the error's from, but hey, what's up, Harsh? Hey there, Steven. Long time. Hope you've been great. Yeah, I've been good. Yeah, I've been good. How have you been? I also don't understand why I'm not getting these errors in NeoVim. I wonder if something's wrong with my LSP. Oh, I know. I know why this is. I'm getting this. It's because I'm using this guy. Yes, this is correct. So this really should be... Oh my gosh, I finally see C# again. Been a while since the Stephen Go days. Yes, it has been. It has been indeed. Protected. Okay, now I think everyone's happy. Name DID. Oh, yeah. All right, so a handle can be constructed by itself. It has its own validation logic, which is great. But it also inherits from atproto ID. DID is the same way. It can be constructed by itself. It has its own parsing logic. Sets the value. We set the value. Okay, then an atproto object has a value. It can be constructed through the from method. It does a little bit of validation. Which is actually probably redundant because it calls into both of these. But if I remove this, I'm going to get an analyzer warning because the compiler can't guarantee yeah, let's just leave it the way we had it. It's fine. Yeah, so that's what we want. Because that way it'll allow us to it'll allow callers to construct atproto IDs, DIDs, or handles. But we can treat DIDs and handles as atproto IDs, and we can discriminate back and forth with pattern matching, which will be nice. And then this can now become, why are you mad? Oh, we're gonna assert. And this does not need to be awaited. Okay, now let's build. Wonderful, now let's actually test. They all pass. Wonderful. That's what we're looking for. I know that was kind of 2 hours of just trying to get the right shape of the ID that we were parsing, but I think that will make it a nice experience. So if you don't really know what you're passing in, then you can opaquely call this. If you do know what you're passing in, or you do know what you're dealing with, then you can do something like this, right? Or you can do this, right? But we can treat them all as atproto IDs. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna go upstairs, say good morning to my wife. Hey, you old effect, good to see you. I am born free. I actually have always wondered if that's where the last name originates from. Like, if my ancestors somewhere were like a generation of people that were first not serfs of some kind. I honestly don't know what the lineage of the name is. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. I hope you guys had a great week and great into it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, Oldie Feck. Bye, Harsh. Bye, anybody else who's here lurking or not lurking. Bye. Have a good day.